Do you know how many restaurants and street food stalls there are in Bangkok? Let me tell you, there are a lot. Places like this, Bangkok's Chinatown, can be a little bit intimidating, a little bit overwhelming, and very chaotic. And I wanted to explore this area today, so I've enlisted some help. Gary Butler, the Roman cook, is going to come and he's going to show me and you 5 amazing dishes to eat in Bangkok's Chinatown.
I decided to come to Chinatown a little early before meeting Gary for the food tour, so I could have a little wander around and get the vibe for the area. And the first thing that struck me was just how photogenic and how pretty Chinatown really is. It feels so authentic. You get a snapshot for real life in Bangkok, something that's not always easy to find in tourist areas. As you wander around the back streets, you just catch glimpses of people, going about their daily life. Or you find a little alleyway and you can peer down and see what's going on. The area is a photographer's dream, or a videographer like me. I must come back and I must spend more time in this area and I must make a proper video, because it was just so much fun walking around and it's an absolute must visit when you're in Bangkok. However, we have a food tour to get on with. So I made my way through the chaos of the main streets of Chinatown, and I met Gary at a little street food stall located outside a 7-Eleven. This street food stall only sells one thing: dumplings, albeit there are 2 different types, pork and prawn. But I knew this place was going to be good when I got there, not because Gary chose it, but because there was a police officer getting his food there. That's always a good sign. Anyway, Gary was running late, as ever, so I got our order in whilst I was waiting for him to arrive.
Thank you. Here he is.
All right.
Only an hour late, maybe more than an hour late.
Hour and 32 late.
An hour and 32.
Listen.
Are you going to make up for it with your food?
Good things come to those that wait, my
Yeah.
friends. And I've got an absolute banger for your first stop. So.
All right.
But I actually didn't know how long this place had been here for. I've been coming here for about 10 years. She said in this spot, they've been here for 30 years. They actually have been selling in this area on a cart for their parents and grandparents for 90 years. So that's 90 years of dumpling making knowledge, my friends. All right, so we've got pork and prawn. The pink ones are prawn and the white ones or the yellow ones are pork. So we've got really, really fatty pork mince with chives covered in crispy garlic, a little bit of soy sauce, a little bit of vinegar, and a sweet chili sauce over the top. You're not going to get any mad reactions out of me because I've probably had that 100 times, but I promise you, for me, this is the best dumpling in the area.
All right. What's this? Prawn.
That's a prawn one, mate.
All right.
Pink is prawn. It's good, isn't it?
That is very good. The garlic, the fried garlic is so good. Fried garlic is so good. And to be honest, I love dumplings. I do find that sometimes they can be a bit hit or miss.
And Bangkok.
Just in general,
Yeah,
they
in
can be a
general,
bit hit or miss. Maybe a bit sweet, maybe a bit salty, maybe a bit stodgy. These are
good, isn't it?
And she said they're handmade. All handmade.
With lard. Can't beat. I do prefer the pork ones, I must admit. And I can actually eat these without the sauce. I don't need the sweet chili sauce.
Yeah.
I can just have it with the vinegar.
Yeah, I don't think it needs it.
But when it all comes together, those crispy bits of garlic, like you said, that kind of just get stuck in your teeth. They're like bits of sweet.
Yeah, little crunch. Nice. And actually a nice little spot. The other thing I would say is when I see places outside 7-Eleven, I don't normally...
Don't usually rate them.
No,
I know
some people think they're the best.
Absolute.
So it's a nice surprise.
Yeah, usually they're bog standard, but
Yeah.
I know a few that are like top tier.
Yeah.
Top tier. But they never used to be there. They used to be, well, they're just across. I don't
Okay.
know why they moved from now.
That's a good start. And actually, this building opposite us is also stunning. This is very Chinatown for me. Whilst I was waiting for this one, I went inside. There's a free little exhibition inside. Had a little look around. That was cool. Of polar bears. The last thing you would think of in Bangkok
Thailand, yeah.
in 40-degree heat with the sweat pouring.
Yeah, this road is something random, like the 54th coolest street in the world.
Is it?
According to Time Out magazine, or someone they did.
All right.
It's Songwan, the coolest street in Bangkok.
Well, we have 4 more stops. But actually, I need to rate it out of 10. I'm going to give that a... You don't mind? I rate everyone out of 10. It's all right? I'm going to give that 7.5, 8.
That's strong. That's a strong 7. Yeah, 7.5. I think.
Yeah.
I'm not rating any of them, so
We just did,
I
so-
think no. for you to rate it that is about right, I would say.
All right.
I'm not rating it because I'm not disrespectful.
All right, on to the next. All right, so something interesting based on me being ex-Portuguese.
Because you're Portuguese and you're a falang, I'm going to get you kanom falang. Kanom means snack, falang means
Okay.
falang.
And well, here they are. They're like little cakes. And there's a history behind it, which we'll tell you. But she is making them here, right?
And the interesting thing is she still cooks them in a traditional
Oh, like charcoal.
charcoal. Wow.
That's cool. Look at that. So, underneath you have the charcoal, and then she puts the little cakes in the pan on top. Then she puts the charcoal, another pan on top to bake them, and then they turn out like this, and you can buy them by the bag. So we've got these little cakes. We've gone sweet after savoury, but that's
Yeah.
fine. It's you come across what you come across, right? There's a history behind these.
Yeah.
Portuguese based. Do you remember it? 'Cause I don't.
Well, King Rama, I'm sure it was Rama 5, it could have been earlier than that. Rama 5 gave the Portuguese, because they were the first Falang in Thailand, he gave them an area which is now called Kudachin, where Santa Cruz Church is.
Okay.
Because they were trading so much, he gave them that little area. They were the first foreigners in the area. With them, they obviously bought their food and their snacks, and this is one that stuck.
There you go. So this is the representation of Portugal. And if you didn't know, if you're new to the channel, I used to live in Madeira in Portugal for 3 years. I've been going there 8 years. So this is their representation.
They're not like my favourite thing in the world.
Of all the snacks to bring over from Portugal.
I know, it's crazy, right? What I do like, though, is the fact that she's cooking it over charcoal, and it's some things it's just about tradition. And these are actually probably the best ones I've had. I'm being honest as well.
I'm going to give it 6.5.
Because I was going to go 5, but I don't rate dry. You can actually taste the char off them. Not the char, but it's like almost like burnt the sugar, but not burnt. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Caramelized.
Oh yeah. What I like though is that wasn't part of the plan. We were just walking past. We saw it on the side. You see she's friendly. You see she's doing something a little bit unique. And you know, trust your senses in Chinatown. That kind of works, I think.
But that's what these videos are about. We're not necessarily saying, look, you have to come here. This is the best thing I've ever eaten in my whole life. Unless we say that, we just want you to get out your comfort zone, get out, follow your own nose,
Yeah.
and hopefully you'll know what you're getting.
Yeah. All right. 6.5.
It's fun.
All right, stop number 3. He's brought us down a little back alley, which I don't know, would I normally come down here? I don't know. I feel like a lot of people wouldn't normally come down this street. But often, when you come down a little street like this, you find something decent. And there's this noodle place that's been selling apparently for 100 years. 100 years. That's ridiculous. But is it good?
It's very good. I love the vibe of the place as well. It's called Bakmi Japkang.
Okay.
Japkang means, it's like a colloquial word for workers or labourers, manual workers.
Dishes hit the table. Noodles, dry noodles, although you've asked for the soup on the side, right?
Yeah, I did ask for the soup on the side. So, do you know what I do? So if someone speaks English to me, I'll speak English back.
Yeah, I
And
noticed
I don't
that.
always get what I want. Even
Yeah.
if they speak perfect English. She spoke really good English, but like, it was like separate. And then I said it in Thai. Yeah. And she said yes, but I still haven't got any soup. I'm not too bothered though. So basically we've got egg noodles, handmade. Lots of them. Throw on a little bit of lard, garlic lard. And also a little bit of the cooking sauce from the pork as well, a little bit of soy sauce, etc., etc. So we've got a little bit of flavour. We've got to mix this all up. We've just got very simple. We've just got some bok choy / Chinese green, that roast pork, and you can tell it's not that really bright red, like coloured roast pork. Not that original style. They've got it over there in like a massive, big pot. Look at the fat on this. So this isn't like a dry loin or sort of like top of the shoulder where there's no fat. This is a nice, fatty, moist piece of pork.
I think the words to describe that is tasty. Like, it's super simple. Thai food is so flavourful, but when you get dishes like this, it's just about simplicity, right?
I was going to say comforting, right? Because you've got like those stodgy noodles and then they're coated in all that oil. Like every grain of it is coated in that garlic oil, right? You've got a little bit of salt from the soy. We've vinegared it up.
Yeah.
So a little bit of sourness.
And that pork is seriously good.
Do you know what I was going to say? I was going to say, if you say the same thing as me, what does that remind you of?
Roast pork on a Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday roast pork,
Yeah.
right? Just the right amount of fat.
Yeah. Super tasty.
Yeah.
And look at that. I mean, you cannot go wrong with egg noodles for me. I'll say it quietly. Customer service here is a little bit
Oh,
bleak.
we're going to say something else. Yeah.
Little bit bleak, I would say.
Yeah, the lady was nice. The uncle didn't want to know. Like, but
Was not
to
interested.
be honest with you, like, is he that bothered about someone coming in and doing a video at his shop? You got another chili in your pan there, mate.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
You could have smiled and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, the food is good.
You'll find that a lot in Chinatown. I said this on another video, right? Especially the ones that have now got literally recommendations.
Yeah. They kind of don't care, right?
Yeah, and it's,
They're
it's
gonna
not even they don't care. I think it's gone from like a family-run business where you know the people that are coming in, so you're to like loads of tourists coming in, probably being quite rude, some of them.
Yeah.
And do you know what I mean? It just you get a bit of fatigue and just it turns into just a machine that's just churning out. Like you might as well be in Burger King or McDonald's.
Well, in this one, I felt it. Next stop, and you were brought us to a little roadside street food
roadside.
cart.
So, one of my favourite rice soups in the city. This guy, Uncle, 70 years old, he's been cooking this soup here for 50 years. But
So that 50 years, so we've had 100 years, 80 years, 50 years, and then that lady was here
230, so
for 70 years. It's ridiculous. Like, ridiculous.
around
And that,
350, are we?
that's not just, I mean, that happens around Bangkok, right? It's not
Yeah.
just this area, but it feels like, I was saying before in a voiceover, this area feels old.
Yeah, yeah.
It feels like you're walking around Bangkok of the past.
Classic, I would go for.
Yeah. All right, rice
And this
soup.
is definitely a classic soup.
Yeah, and it doesn't sound the most, well, doesn't
This is Chinatown for me.
Okay.
Rice soup.
All right, let's get it. Okay, here it is. You've got the bowl, which is filled with that milky broth. Look at that. You've got rice in there, you've got spring onion in there, bits of pork in there on the bone. There was an egg, which looked amazing when I broke it, but yeah, I forgot to press record. So, so yeah, we messed that up. Little bits of dry garlic. This one looks like another cracker.
Absolutely.
And what's on the side to go with it?
Dry roasted galangal, salted, dry roasted.
I have never seen
galangal.
that before.
Unbelievable. I only
You've
know
seen
one
that
other
before?
place that does this.
Okay.
Pardon?
You've seen that before?
Yeah, in a Hainanese shop around the corner with Hainanese goat, which I'll take you to another time. It's salty, but it's also got that lovely cooling quality of galangal. Galangal and ginger, opposite ends of the spectrum. Ginger spicy, galangal cooling.
And one more thing to go in there.
Chili vinegar, and he wants me to use this specific chili vinegar, not the pounded one that I want to use. So.
Of course. All right, for me, I would say, compared to the last dish, this is the one that's comfort food for me. The rice, it's not rice porridge, because that's also another breakfast dish, right?
Rice soup is similar. Oh my god.
Let's try it.
The salted dried galangal, absolutely unbelievable. You've got those small little diced pieces of perfectly stewed pork belly, sharp radish.
Yeah, that is unbelievable. Some of these dishes that I've had, they're just salt.
Yeah.
You eat it and then you need to drink like 5 litres of water. This
Yeah,
one
yeah.
is pure comfort food.
Unreal. But tell you what, usually you get julienne pieces of ginger with this, right?
Yeah,
So have it with the galangal, the dried galangal, different ballgame.
yeah, that is interesting. I'm going to give it, go on, rate it out of 10.
10.
10? I was going to give it a 9.
That's a 10.
It's gone straight in.
That's a 10.
Top dish.
That's top 5 things I've eaten in Chinatown.
All right, 4 stops in, and I think we've done pretty well so far, I would say. Well, we just got the Portuguese egg tart to go, and I'll tell you how many restaurants and how many street food carts there are in Bangkok. Actually, you can answer that question as a guess. How many street food carts and how many restaurants in total are there in Bangkok?
187,642.
100 and... Go on, louder for them.
187,642.
All right, let's see. We'll reveal that at the next stop. I'm going to say this is probably my favourite. One, Uncle is super friendly, and that makes a massive difference
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
from a cold place. Your street side, so you...
That last place wasn't cold, mate. It was fucking Arctic. Sorry.
We're street side, so you can people watch as people go past. It's also in a cool alleyway where you've got street art on the wall. It feels vibey. This feels very.
nice.
You said the food is very much Chinatown for you. This vibe feels very much Chinatown for me. So really enjoyed this stop. Maybe the best so far. But are we going to find finally a good Portuguese egg tart in Bangkok? Have you ever had one, Pastel de Nata?
No. What,
Ever.
in Portugal?
Yeah.
I think I probably had one in the Algarve 15 years ago. 20, actually, 15, that's a lie, 25 years ago.
Well, I can't promise. Based on what I've had so far, I can't promise this one's going to be better.
They all taste like scrambled egg with vanilla to me.
Not in Portugal. Anyway, let's go find out. Pastel de nata, faz favor. one egg tart, please.
Yes, okay, either.
Thank
Maybe
you.
warm a bit.
Ah, perfect.
All right, mate.
We've come to a Portuguese cafe, it's called
Cheers.
Cafe de Nata, to try and find. I tell you what, and I know the problem actually, and you said that the custard tarts you try here all taste eggy. Now that is because it's Macau style or Chinese style.
Yeah.
It's not Portuguese style, which don't taste eggy. They just taste sweet and delicious. Now the top looks good, slightly. She didn't ask me. Actually,
You just warmed them up.
yeah, look at this. You've gone for one which is a bit underbaked, and I've gone for one which is caramelized, which I like. I was saying they have big points because in Portugal, when you buy these, and they're only about €1 in Portugal rather than €2.50 here, is cinnamon.
Yes.
And you get cinnamon to put on the top, so I'm going to liberally.
Well, I'll have a little bit. Let's see.
You ready?
Cheers, mate.
Oh my god. What do you reckon?
It's like an omelette.
It's not eggy at all.
Got the consistency. I don't really like egg tarts. So.
All right. Inside, super creamy, not too sweet. The custard is almost perfect, I would say.
Yeah.
Almost exactly the same. The sweetness, the consistency, almost perfect. The pastry is just a little bit, maybe underdone. Like it's caramelized, but it's maybe just slightly off. That's as good as you're going to get in Bangkok, I think. I would say if the pastry was better, it would be bang on. I'm going to give it 7 out of 10, which considering the last one I gave was 1 out of 10. That's
Really?
that's a pretty.
No, sure.
that's a pretty.
In their defence, and if the owner of this sees this, they're just not my favourite thing in the world. It's fine. My wife, though, when I get home with the other half of this, is going to absolutely love that.
However, super friendly. They gave us some Portuguese brandy. Now
It's going to tip me over the edge, and I'm going to end up in the other half of the
it came out, and I thought it was Madeira, so I got a bit homesick and excited. But it's brandy, which I'm not the biggest fan of. But
Let's go!
wow.
I'm up for it now, you.
The pastel de nata is a 10 out of 10 now. Almost, and how could I forget to answer your question on how many restaurants and street food vendors there are in Bangkok? You said 186,736,
around that,
something
yeah.
like that. There are actually, according to Gemini, between 150,000 and 180,000.
Yeah, but I know
You know the other
about-
6,000.
I know 6,756. They don't know about because they haven't been trained properly.
It's a ridiculous number, though, isn't it?
It is mad.
ridiculous
It is
number. That's
mad.
why it's a foodie heaven here.
And that's why it's ridiculous when someone like me says this is the best bowl of noodles
Yeah, that's true.
in the city.
That's
because
true.
you
So don't
can't.
listen to him. Subscribe to me, unsubscribe here, and catch me in the next video. Right there.
And before I go, I would just like to say thank you to all of my members supporting me on Patreon. If you'd like to find exclusive content and videos, links in the description.